Good evening, everybody. My name is Sam Shihab with the law firm of Shihab Burke, and I'm going to spend 30 minutes with you guys today and talk about a topic of interest. Today, we're going to talk about why EB-2 India green card is so backlogged. Spend some minutes discussing this important topic, and then move on and answer questions. Imagine if I tell you if you come to me today to apply for a green card. Imagine if I tell you, yeah, you can get me, you can pay me, or your employer can pay me today, and we can start working on the green card. But I'll hand you that green card maybe 25 or 30 years from now. How would you feel about that? Except that the hypothetical scenario I gave you is really not a scenario that's not being dealt with right now among the EB-2 Indian nationals. This is a reality. This is the reality of EB-2 Indian born immigrants who come to the United States to apply for an H-1B visa and apply for a green card. Based on the massive backlog that we have, their green card could be issued 25 years from now. Now, why are we talking about this issue today? I felt that we need to bring this issue back to the forefront of the discussion because with the massive amount of money and incredible resources this administration is sinking, rightfully chasing illegal individuals in the US, very little effort is being or an attention being paid to those who did things the right way, followed the rules, yet stuck in a massive backlog that no one is doing anything seriously about to resolve, despite many efforts in the past. Bringing this attention to the forefront and continuing to talk about it is something that's very important, in my opinion, to keep it alive, because unless we do that, things will not be improving. So I'm going to spend a few minutes to talk about why the EB-2 India backlog is so massive, how it impacts lives and careers of individuals, and how to fix it if possible. So to kind of get things rolling here, the problem, the long wait time. What's the source of this problem? Um, this slide says EB2 category faces 15 to 20-year wait now, but if you file today, I think the wait is significantly more than that. Obviously, those of us who follow this closely, the per country cap limit is the main source of the problem. And basically what we have is we have 140,000 green cards allocated for employment base every year, plus or minus with some modifications. And then every category is allocated approximately 28%. And every country is limited to 7% of that 28%. So for EB2 India, they receive 2,800 approximately green cards per year allocated for their category for themselves and their family. But the number of H-1B applications coming in from India for this category is unlimited every year. We keep approving H-1Bs, but we just don't have bandwidth to issue green cards. And therefore, the numbers got out of whack. What we have based on the December published figure by the December 2004 published 2024 published figure by USCIS, what we have is approximately 322,000 approved I-140s in the EB2 category and approximately 100,000 in the EB3 category at the present time, with each one has a limitation of 2,800 per year. That does not include dependents. And if you include dependents, the backlog for EB2 India exceeds 1 million individual. The math is not very difficult to do. The wait is, if you do the straight math, is over 100 years, over 200 years if you do the math. But we don't expect that to happen. There are mitigating circumstances. What are the mitigating circumstances? We have something called a spillover, which is unused green cards in certain categories, and crossover and unused green card in the family immigration comes to the employment, and therefore there are more than 2,800 green card used every year for the EB2. We have some of the EB1 individuals move to EB2 individual move to EB1, and some of them move to EB3. So the combined EB1 plus EB2 plus EB3 provide a little bit of a relief of about, I think, if I do the math here, um, 8,400 green cards yearly for Indian born. And then you have the dual filing scenarios. A lot of people file in EB1 and EB2. Some people file in EB2 and EB3. So these numbers could be a little bit less in terms of individuals versus I-140s. But be that as it may, the number is still staggering. And then we have the natural attrition of people just giving up or moving to Canada or moving to other countries and getting green cards, or they build their life outside the U.S. Because of that, we don't believe that the wait time is over 100 years. We think it's less, but it's still massive number of years of wait. Clearly, it's an overwhelming number of years, and so many years practically can go beyond one's professional career before they get the green card. So this slide here shows you what is the wait time based on the backlog, based on people that done the number of crunching. So we have something called the spillover that I've talked about. So on years, if you have an average low spillover, the backlog will be cleared. Right now, the current backlog will be cleared in close to 70 years. With a high spillover, the expectation is 25 years. And if you have a moderate spillover, which might be the scenario of about 8,000 per year additional green card going to EB2 India, then what you will have is a wait time close to 35 years. These numbers are not numbers that are manageable or anything that is acceptable for people who obviously did things the right way. Um, and a solution has to be presented, and we have to continue to talk about that to get to a solution, because the current scenario is unfair, not good for the country, and it's not. I mean, 40 years. I mean, people are not going to be working for 40 years. People are going to retire before they get their green card, which is something that is, not supportable. So, what are the solutions? What can we do as a country to resolve that? Obviously, remove the cap. The 7% cap is the number one uh, suggestion. And if I go back to the previous slide, if you remove the per country cap, the entire backlog can be resolved in 7 years based on the current number. The entire backlog for all categories, all countries across the board is about 750,000 applications. The expectation is that can be resolved within 7 years or 8 years, and then we'll be able to um, go into a scenario where there's a more fair system that is um, based on uh, you know uh, the number, the person being, the date of birth of the person, the place, not the place of birth, but whoever filed first, not the place of birth of the person being born in India or China or any other country. And the system will be more fair across the board. Now, to solve this problem, other problems, the other solutions is to provide merits approvals. For example, people with PhDs get green cards, or based on a system that is based on demand, or other solution that takes away the per country limitation. Now, can we get that done? What are the political challenges? We need 60 votes from the Senate, which is a very difficult thing to do. Now, there's a lot of pressure now being built by corporations on the government, because obviously, as we're competing with other countries, if we do not have the resources here in the U.S., we are going to fall behind. But there's a lot of pushback on the solution. Small country, a lot of people from small countries are opposing that idea because it slows them down. Obviously, every time we have an immigration bill, we have a massive immigration. You have to tie it to the border. You have to tie it with other things, and therefore, it's not an easy solution to propose a change. So I broke down here a slide to show you what is the likelihood of a remedy to remove the cap or change the law. So we have a divided House right now, limited political capital. Their attention is not really too much on employment-based immigration. But if there's a bill, I give this a 40% chance for it to pass today. But if you go into the Senate, it requires a supermajority. And right now, I don't believe that you're going to be able to get a supermajority voting for any immigration bill this year with everything that's going on. Therefore, I give this 10% chance for to pass the Senate. President Trump, I don't know. I just don't feel that has the interest in signing something like this. So I give this a 10% chance for the president to sign it into a law. And public support, nobody's focusing on it really. There's some opposition from unions. People are talking about illegal immigration, and therefore I think the chances of um, public pressure on this issue is very weak. Therefore, I give the chances of 2025 passing a law is less than 1%. That doesn't mean that we don't keep talking about it. We have to continue to bring this issue to the forefront of the discussion, because the idea is we've done things the right way. We followed the rule. It is incredibly unfair to have 1 million individuals stuck in a system that does not make any sense. And for those who followed the rules and respected the law and did everything right. If you want to have people who respect the law, the law has to also respect people's livelihood. How many careers are stuck in limbo because of the green card process? A lot of these people can spin into entrepreneurs and can create companies, can do great things in the US, but they're stuck and they're held back. Many attempts in the past came about to pass a new law, but failed. Fairness for High Skilled Immigrant Act passed the House, stuck in the Senate in 2020. Eagle Act passed committee, failed in the House 2021. Relief Act proposed, not even voted on it. And U.S. Citizenship Act in 2021, no Senate action on it. So as you can see, many attempts has failed, unfortunately. As these attempts fail, the backlog grows. In 2000, it was taking 2 years for EB-2 India to be approved. In 2005, about the same time. By the time we crossed in 2010, it was taking 5 years. 2015 was averaging 18 years. Now it's averaging 15 or 20 years. But if you file an application in 2025, you will take 25 to 35 years or more to get the green card approved, which is a crisis. EB-2 India, wait is outrageous. The country cap limit has to be limited, and the government, the country has to take serious action to resolve this problem, because this problem is not going to go away. It's going to only get worse. Thank you guys for listening to me, and I hope this presentation brings back the conversation on EB-2, and we need to continue to talk about it, because it's a crisis, and it's a humanitarian crisis really, for professionals that came to the United States following the American dream and stuck in a system that has no end in sight. Thank you guys. So I will turn my attention to question by immigrationquestions.us. Immigrationquestions.us is a website that we own. And if you drop your questions during the week, we will answer it. We pick a couple questions that we think they're good, and then we will jump in and answer them. All right. So here's a question from immigrationquestions.us. And I don't have it in front of me. So I got my employment based green card last month and have been with the company for 5 years. An amazing opportunity presented itself at another company, and I was told that I need to stay with my sponsoring company for at least 6 months after receiving my green card application. My green card. Is this 6 months rule recommendation or a hard rule? I cannot find much of an official policy anywhere. Excellent question. So I think this question is a lot of people talk about, how long can I stay with the employer that filed for my green card, and what is the rule on that? So number one, let's clear this thing 100%. This is not a hard and fast rule. This is not written anywhere. The 6 months is coming from the portability rule when you file your I-485, and then after 6 months, you you can move to a different company. So that's 6 months average time. That's where it's coming from. But it's not written that once you get your green card, you must stay with the employer for 6 months. Because it doesn't make any sense if you can move after 180 days of filing the I-485. How can you not move if you stayed longer and got the green card? If the opportunity presented itself after you got your green card, not before, I am comfortable in saying you need to, and the green card has been pending and you've been with this company many years. I think it makes sense to move on, in my opinion. Um, there's really no rule that says you cannot move on. Now, here's the critical part, the counter argument to that. If Brian is with me, Brian is coming back next week, and we'll have him back, and makes my life easier because two people in these presentations are a lot more exciting than one person. But here's the bottom line. The day the green card was issued, you were basically technically affirmed your commitment to be with this company. And if the opportunity was presented before that, then that affirmation, if you will, arguably, was not really 100%. Your heart was not with the company. You moved on when you got the green card. But if the opportunity presented itself after, I think you can make a good argument that you want to move on. Now we have a rough uh, immigration environment right now where crazy things happen. This is the time when you want to be careful and cautious and not aggressive. Is it something where USCIS can take um, a position that you should have stayed longer? I've never seen it. Is that going to happen this year? I don't know. So you said this is an incredible opportunity. So if this is an incredible opportunity, take it. Um, if in fact you've been with the company for multiple years, you've done good work for them, that adjustment status has been pending for a long time, and then the opportunity was after, yeah, move on, in my opinion. But that's a decision you have to make. Is there a 100% no risk? No. But it's a low risk move based on the scenario that I've just described. But if the job was presented before you got the green card approved, then I would definitely wait the 180 days to be safe. Another question from immigrationquestions.us. Um, I was born in the US. My wife is from Brazil. She came to the United States in 2008, lived with me for 17 years. We have a 1 week vacation plan in August to France. Should we be nervous at all about re entering the country? I'm assuming in this question that your wife from Brazil is now at least a U.S. permanent resident. She or potentially she is a U.S. citizen. Um, but either way, under those two scenarios, I absolutely see no problem going and coming back. Enjoy your time in France. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I've been. My work took me to France a couple times in the last 2 months, and came back for a client, and I have not seen any problems traveling internationally. Um, but my wife is not a green card holder, and she wasn't with me. But I don't see a problem. I do not see a problem, to be honest with you. All right. Um, why collect more application than visas? Should you be collecting the best X amount of that year? The remaining applicants with any employer gets a work permit, advanced parole to improve, apply for the following year. Well, it's an amazing question. It's not like, and that's a question that requires a deep thinking, because it's not like it was planned to bring 1 million employment-based second preference in their family here in the United States and get them stuck in a really in a very difficult situation. They've left their home, they invested here, they invested their life here, their children are born here now, they're going to school, they have a job, they bought a house, and the green card is not coming, and they are stuck. They can't go anywhere, and they followed all the rules. They did everything right. It's not like it was done purposely, but clearly, a complete negligence on part of the U.S. government to create laws that do not add up, do not make any sense. You got an H-1B visa program that brings 85,000 a year. The H-1B visa program has no per country limitation. There's no 7% from India. Why not? Why not? Well, no, we're going to take from any country because we have an appetite for professionals. We need them. We need you today to come and do work for me, for my Microsoft, for my Amazon, for my Oracle, for my innovations. Uh, then, when it comes to the green card, oh, we have a fairness system. We want to allocate green card based on people born in different countries in the dumbest system ever. The country the size of 1/5 of the earth, okay, 20 to 25% of the earth, that produces 10 times more engineers and IT than other countries per capita, even gets 7%, and small country that produces no engineers whatsoever, and if a population of 5 or 6%, I don't know, I mean, there's a lot of examples, um, gets 7%. Now there is the spillover rule, but the spillover rule is just creates, it's just filter and slow things down. So yeah, why collect more application than visas? Because we have an appetite for your work. We want you to come to America and work hard and take care of us, and we have no problem. I don't care what country you're from. Then all of a sudden, when it comes to the green card, oh no, we have a different system. It makes no sense. Um, Ahmed Hamad, I lost my H-1B and my job, and now on pending adjustment of status, EB-2 national interest waiver I-485. Okay, I am not intended to change my field. Will be unemployment will unemployment affect my I-485? A short period of unemployment. I mean, if your visa number coming up soon, I would be concerned if you don't have a job. In my opinion, it's an employment-based green card. All with the national interest waiver said that the job look, the job market test is not relevant because the work you're doing uh, in the national interest, and therefore the labor certification is waived. But what work? You're not working anymore. um, I would be concerned for you. I would aggressively go into a self-employment, open a company, and do work in your national in the field of the same field you're in, or do something aggressive so you can get a job. I would be concerned for you. Is TPS a valid status in order to marry a green card holder? Um, Mr. Huri, is an excellent question. So, TPS is not a status, unless I'm getting hyper technical because I'm a lawyer. That's how I am. But to answer the question, um, you can get married to a green card holder any day you want. The marriage, I mean, I think, is TPS a valid status in order to get a to marry a green card holder, and then she can apply for me maybe for a green card or something. I don't understand the question. So, if you're marrying this green card holder so she can apply for you for a green card, um, the the TPS, um, you may not be able to adjust status in the U.S., but I would be interested in talking to this green card holder when she can become a U.S. citizen. Can she become a U.S. citizen? And the other really critical question is, you're on a TPS now, but how did you enter the United States? Did you enter legally or illegally? So there's a lot of questions here that I need answer to answer your question. But you can get married to a green card holder any day you want. But can that green card holder marriage get you into a status outside TPS? Then there's a lot of other factors I need to know before I can answer that question. Um, I-94 not updated to the latest I-797 upon arrival. Will this be an issue past the I-94 admit until date? Would it be best to get the I-94 updated by visiting CBP office? Um, I would be interested in learning about how did you enter the U.S. Did you enter the U.S. on a visa revalidation, for example? Were you on a cruise and came back to the United States? So that is one scenario. A lot of time when you're on a cruise and you're visiting countries, you may be in transit. Technically, you did not leave the U.S. So that's one scenario. The second scenario possibly is if you've left the US for less than 30 days and came back to a contiguous territory, they sometimes use the same I-94 and they don't issue a new one. They just don't do it. Um, so that's an interesting question that I would like to know, um, whether or not that's the case for you. Um, but if you arrived at an airport and you had a stamp on your passport, but the I-94 was not updated, I would most definitely call the CBP. You can look them up online. They have number. They answer emails and the phones sometime, and depends on what area of the country you're in, and they will look into this matter for you, and they will help you out if um, if there is an issue. I think there's a clarification here with previous I-77 with a previous visa stamp. Yeah, that doesn't change my answer. My answer, um, to be honest with you. So I got a comment here from my good friend Empire. If you're only going to give out 140,000 green cards, then only collect 140,000 applications. Once you have a cap, backlog is inevitable. It's fine with 140 green card, but give everyone else a combo card at least. I have a better solution for you, Empire. I think you should collect an I-485 and get them an EAD and let them be on their own. Create this scenario, the pre-green card approval, and now they can be working for themselves. They can work for anybody. Get them off this H-1B. Get everybody an EAD. Get everybody in adjustment status. That gives a lot of stability. Then being on H-1B and filing an I-140, you can even file the I-485. And then get an updated, or maybe give an EAD with an I-140. You don't get an I-45, I don't care. And let that EAD becomes an opportunity for people to open up their businesses, or remove the cap. You know, um, uh, calculations showed that within 7 years, the backlog is gone. And then the wait time is a year to 2 years. It's going to take another 20 years of growth before you establish another backlog like this. Remove the cap. Give EADs. Um, came on J visa, then TPS. Mr. Hori, you throw in something else here that's really interesting. Number one, you're inspected. That's great. I'm hoping that your J visa does not have a 2 year foreign residency requirement, because if you have a 2 year foreign residency requirement, um, um, then that's an issue. If wife can apply within 2 years, yeah, one, no 2 year foreign residency requirement for you, I'm hoping. Two, you were inspected. Three, your wife gets a green card in 2 years. Most certainly, she can apply for you to get a green card after 2 years. Thank you guys for listening to me today. I will be doing one more on Wednesday, and then we will have Brian back, and it will be a little bit more the normal presentation that we normally do. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful rest of the week until I see you Wednesday at 6 o'clock.